Today, we're gonna be talking about how I got sponsored by Discraft Underground. I think there's 3 reasons why I got sponsored by Discraft Underground, and I'm gonna share those with you today. And I think those 3 reasons are: 1, being very consistent with social media. The second reason is providing value to the disc golf community. And number 3 is just being a good person. There's a lot that goes into all 3 of those things. So I'm gonna kind of dive into all 3 of them and talk a little bit more about how I went about doing all 3 of those things consistently, and also how I got to the point of actually getting an offer from Discraft Underground. Being on social media these days is absolutely important, especially in disc golf. So one of the things that I did was I came up with a plan to be super consistent on social media. And really that plan can be tailored to whatever you want it to be. That's the great thing about social media, is you have the freedom and the creativity to do things how you would like to do them. What I did specifically when I first started creating content about 6 months ago now, is I figured out that I wanted to be on YouTube, be on TikTok, and also be on Instagram, and be posting on those platforms consistently every single day. Whether that be posting 1 YouTube video a week, 2, 3, 4, like I was doing when I first started out, posting on TikTok every single day consistently is really going to help you grow your social media, and in the long run, build up that consistency that you're looking for and help you grow as a content creator. So instead of just telling you guys all of this stuff in the nomadic warehouse where we're at here today, I'm gonna pack up an order, get that thing off to the post office, and then we're actually going to head out to one of the courses in Kentucky and play around there, and I'll dive into the other 2 reasons why I think I got sponsored by Discraft Underground. All right, folks, we have made it out to the course. We are at Boone Woods here in Burlington, Kentucky, I believe. We're gonna be playing the front 9 out here, talking a little bit more about the way that I joined Discraft Underground. I'm gonna give you guys the other 2 pieces of advice that I have for you, but we're gonna jump into the first hole here and just have some fun. All right, hole 1, about 320 feet. There is quite a bit of tailwind here, but I'm gonna start the round out with the force. Just throw it down on a forehand, try and get something close down there. Little too much turn on that one. So this is the first round that I have recorded this year out on the YouTube channel. It's been a long time coming. The winter's been pretty rough here in Kentucky and Ohio, so I haven't been able to get out. I didn't do much traveling over the winter either. Usually I do a trip to Florida, but didn't make that happen this year. So we got a random day out here. It's about 60 degrees here today in Kentucky, so I figured I'd get out, do a video for you guys, and just come out here and get ready for the upcoming season. Ended up about pin high, but it's a pretty tough putt here. Not what I wanted, but we'll start out with the par. There we go. All right, hole 2, about 240 feet. Just gonna take the Raptor here, try and get this thing close to the basket and get a birdie here on hole 2. I went a little bit too straight there. Wow, so we actually went well long of the basket here. We're gonna have an uphill putt, probably about 30 feet, 35 feet. Oh, just over the top. Ended up with a par there on hole 2. Went a little bit too long. I didn't think the Raptor was gonna go that far. That thing's usually a little bit more stable, but that is a straighter Raptor in the bag. We're gonna move on to hole 3 here. This one's a kind of a tough one. Another forehand bomb that you gotta throw down there, about 350 through some trees. So I'm gonna take my Zeus here, try and throw this thing out there on that left side, have it hit into the valley down there, and have a somewhat of a look at the basket. Kind of flipped that thing over a little. Ended up in a decent spot. This is gonna be an awkward little kind of chip forehand shot. Probably about 100 away from the basket right now. Hitting that tree actually helped that out a lot. There's the first big putt of the year. So after hitting that big putt, I'm gonna give you the second thing that I think helped me join Discraft Underground, and that's gonna be providing value to others. And providing value in the disc golf community can come in many different ways, things you can do. Some of those including making videos like I do out here, whether that be YouTube or on Instagram, TikTok, or anything like that. Another way to provide value is to help out new players when they join a league or a course or putting league or anything like that. If you see somebody that's new looking for help, definitely try and help them out when you can. That is going to be my second tip for joining Team Discraft Underground. We're gonna head into hole 4 here, hopefully get some better tries off the tee and then start hitting some birdies out here. All right, hole 4 is going to be a par 3, about 320 feet. I'm gonna take a new disc in the bag that I'm super excited about. It's gonna be a DGA Quake. This thing is supposed to be really overstable. This is gonna line up best for a shot that's downhill like this and that we need a little bit of finish after throwing it out towards the right side. Gonna be in a decent spot. Put it out a little bit too far to the right, actually. All right, we're gonna give this thing a run. Do it. Oh, that was so close to going in. All right, another par there. Another par over on hole 4 there. You can definitely tell that I haven't played in a long time, or I've played a very, very limited amount. Still getting used to the full Discraft bag since joining Discraft Underground. Trying to dial things in a little bit more, figure the discs out. But I'm really enjoying the bag so far, being all Discraft, and a couple DGA discs in there as well. All right, hole 5 is going to be 326 feet. Plays probably every bit of 400 just because it's so uphill. So I'm gonna take an understable prototype Hades here and just try and put something out in the fairway. Perfectly fine with that. Not the greatest drive, but not the worst drive. We're gonna be in the middle of the fairway in a pretty decent spot. I typically throw the Proto Hades there just because of how uphill this hole is. I usually end up in that same exact spot and then just have a short approach. We're gonna hopefully get up and down pretty easy here and move on to hole 6. Probably about 100 out, just gonna try and throw this thing up there and get something close. That's perfect. All right, there we go. All right, hole 6, about 340 feet to the short pin location. We're gonna take my first run passion here. This one's on the lighter weight side, about 170. I changed it up in the bag this year. Gonna try and throw it on the right side. Just have this thing carry down there and get close to the basket. Oh, hit an unfortunate tree there. That's unfortunate. Got a pretty bad tree kick there. We're gonna have to take a look and see where we're at, because that thing kicked pretty far to the left, unfortunately, and gonna have a tough up and down from there. We didn't end up in the greatest spot. We're in that leaf pile there. Basket's gonna be just up the hill there. Gonna be quite an interesting approach here. Oh, I knew I was gonna hit that. We'll have some look at the basket. No. Oh man, what an interesting hole that just was. Hole 6 has officially became the hardest hole out here today. 1, we take a bogey, the first one of the day. 2, the camera fell over, which is unfortunate. I'm gonna leave that in there, you guys can see it. It's unfortunate, but in the next hole, hole 7, I'm gonna give you guys the third tip that I think helped get me on Discraft Underground and hopefully not have the camera fall anymore. And the third and final tip that I have that I think helped me get on Discraft Underground is just being a good person. This really goes a long way and says a lot about a person, is how they carry themselves out on the course, how you interact with others while you're out on the course or in the parking lot after a tournament or after league or before league or anything like that. I think that goes a really long way and really has been something that has helped me out throughout not only disc golf, but life in general. All right, hole 7 here, 415 feet. This one's gonna be a pretty far bomb for me, so I'm just gonna take the force here, put it out on a forehand line and just get something hopefully towards those trees out there. Perfectly fine with that. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little rattled after the camera falling, unfortunately. Kind of messes up the mojo of like throwing and everything like that, because When the camera falls over, it's like super, like I have to make sure that everything's okay with the camera after. That throw was all right. We're in a decent spot, but not ideal with where I want to be. Usually I try to throw a backhand, but there's a lot of wind out here today, headwind, so I figured the throw on the force is a little bit better here. We'll take a look and see, hopefully get up and down for a par here. Sit. Nice, that's perfect. That was a great approach shot. There we go. Make up for that bogey on the last hole. Quite a bit of wind out here right now. I'm gonna take the DGA Quake and just throw this thing out on the right side. It's about 270 downhill. Just wanna get something really close to the basket because that basket is pretty high up in the air, and just wanna end up basically on the wood chip pile down there. Skip. Skip, no? Nothing on the skip there, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a really tough putt. Yeah, we're just gonna lay this one up. All right, final hole out here at Boone Woods. Gonna be hole 9, 412 feet that we're gonna have to go up and over a hill and back up a hill. So we're probably just gonna take a forehand, pump that thing out there, and end this round with a par. That should be in a pretty good spot. Really liking this soft roach right now, so I'm gonna throw this thing up there and try and throw it in the basket. Sit. Oh, a little bit of a run. There we go. What an interesting round we had today. So that is going to wrap up the back 9 out at Boone Woods. I hope you all enjoyed this type of video and found value in explaining how I joined the Discraft Underground team. I hope those 3 tips help you. If you guys have any questions or anything like that for me, make sure that you leave them in the comments section down below. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure that you hit that like button and hit the subscribe button because I have so many videos planned out for this coming year. Thank you guys again so much, and we will see you in the next one.